Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I think we ought to get started right away in this and just make a couple adjustments here. All right, there we go. Good morning. Good morning, David. We got a lot to cover here. I got to do a couple things. You want to just chat for a minute, Mark? I'm going to go over and get a couple, open up a PowerPoint.
Okay. Good morning, Breakfast Club family. Welcome all of you to the Breakfast Club. Hopefully we have some new potential family members that some of you invited. And if we do, welcome to the Breakfast Club to you. Got some great information for you. Hope you had a great day yesterday. I had a phenomenal day yesterday. And again, I want to say this while we're waiting, that if you follow the protocol, it works. You know, we always talk about the bottom line is you got to go to work. And that is still the bottom line. I mean, you can have systems, you can have communication, you can know about connecting, all of those things, but you still have to go to work. Because if you don't do that, then all that you've learned and you've acquired is not working. That's because you're not working. And what we want is we want everybody to use all the tools that we've created, all the communication that we've provided, all of the things that we have put together over the 1 year plus, it's more than a year now, and use it, and I assure you it works. And that's the experience. You know, as I told you, I said, well, you know, at the beginning of the month, I'm going to be gone after the Breakfast Club. And so the thing is, you have to be, whatever you teach, you have to be a student of that. In other words, what I'm saying, you have to be partaker of the fruit. So you have to do it. If you're going to encourage somebody else to do it, you have to do it yourself as well, and it has to be working. And it is working. And the more of it that you do, the more you're going to accomplish. Even though we're looking for one affiliate a month, and you know, and you can, what's comfortable for you? You try to do more if you can, but at least get one a month. And you know, and buy 1 gram of gold a month, at least, or do more if you can. But still remember, when you ask what you do, what do? You don't peddle gold. We are an educational company, and we teach people how to have a successful business from home. And you know, have you ever had a successful business from home? Use what you learned in the communication class, and you will get people's attention. So that's what I was doing all day yesterday. And I think I have just sponsored one of those golden nuggets, if you will. Pardon the pun, no pun intended, but I see a golden nugget. And the thing is that you have to follow the protocol that we've set up. If you do that, it works. So Joe, let me know when you're back.
I am back. Can you see me?
Okay.
Yeah, you see my screen?
Yeah, I see your screen.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, well, look, you know, we're going to go over some things here. I want you to know that this stuff was taken from an article regarding employees. I mean, I took the time to change the names over to affiliates, so I'm not the creator of this. I'm just the organizer, let's call it that. And the important thing is that I think it's easy to sponsor people, honestly, Mark. I think it's easy for people to say, well, just join, it's free. I mean, that's not sponsoring, really. That's getting someone registered. Sponsoring is doing what you're doing with this guy and his group. So I'll just elaborate on that a little bit. When Mark has been speaking with this person who is, I'm going to use the word, makes a lot of money, and is also involved in networking and has groups of people, and you know, through the dialogue and the connecting and you know, I think he spoke about it yesterday, and met with them, and now met with his little group, I call it. Immediately he wants to put the thing together and throws 10 people live in front of Mark. That's what we've been talking about, is, having this system in place to be able to go and show a particular website, a particular piece of information, and having the dialogue down to be able to talk professionally. And if you're doing that, obviously you need a director to do that for you if you're not doing it live. Mark happens to do these things live, and he likes being out and talking to people and meeting with them in his area, and that's fine. If you're doing that and you're talking to somebody in California, obviously you need to be able to communicate through telephone, Skype, internet stuff. But you still have to know what to do and say. My experience is that most people, although registering someone, have difficulties moving them forward. The big people in this industry have troubles moving people forward because they expect those people to just go get people and put them in and do massive numbers. And we know what happens with that. You end up with blue dots. I said this yesterday. We had a comment, somebody telling me that one of their people who are in Karatbars is tired of education, tired of the tools. And I said, well, what will they do? How successful are they in the other business? Well, not really. I don't know, I guess. But, well, how in the world do you expect to help your people move forward without tools? So let's go over some of these things. These things are important. Now, they're a little lengthy. We'll probably do this in 2 days. Let's just take a look. Most of you probably read this already. But in order to get people on board, when you get them on board, what do you do with them? I mean, that's really the theme of today. What is it that you're doing? We talked about onboarding. What do? We get them to join ToolsRock, we get them in the back office, and they go and look at the affiliate handbook. They should sign the last page and tell you, hey, I've checked this all out. I'm getting, now I'm doing my steps, my checklist, and we should have that done in 48 hours. Okay, that's wonderful, but you should not be spending time on the phone getting to know this person's background and live and the weather and all this stuff. You got to get down to business with these people. You got to think of it like a job. One of the missing parts is the education of the new person. It's missing in all companies. So you've got to get them on board correctly. That means you have to know how to do it. You have to know your part. And even if you're brand new, you could at least find somebody that knows these things. And right now, if you're brand new, learn from what we're going to show you today. How to bring that new person aboard, what to talk about, what not to talk about. Managers are people. We have our own style, personality, quirks, beliefs, and passions. So look, we all know that. We learn scripts, but you got to put your own flair into it, right? Naturally, these traits influence how we do our jobs and how we lead our affiliates. The best managers are the ones who have and use tools and resources to bring out the best in others and achieve desired outcomes through their people. I mean, think about that for a minute. Think about this person who said the other day, well, I'm sick of tools. This was done by a professional company that teaches how to be a magnetic manager. And they're talking conventional business tools and resources. Less than stellar managers essentially do what needs to be done to cover their own you-know-whats, without much regard of how their people feel or what they need to be successful. I mean, doesn't that make sense? I mean, when I say make sense, doesn't that apply to your situation as well? When I say your situation, your experience in networking? Sound familiar? That's my point. One of the most difficult routes to being the best manager you can be is to learn how to unleash the potential of your individual affiliates and your team. This requires desire, intuition, coaching skills, dedication, and the ability to ask. That's important to know. Let's take a look here. Powerful questions. By asking powerful questions, you provide your affiliate with a format to share the entire story, not just a piece of it. Powerful questions help uncover judgments and attitudes behind your employee. There you go. There's the word employees I left there. Speech and physicality. These questions help reveal the actions that affiliates are taking and help them see the connection between their attitudes, actions, and the results that they're getting. More importantly, or most importantly, powerful questions can help affiliates reach their own conclusions and discover how they can best support, contribute, and deliver desired results for the business, the team, and themselves. After all, isn't that what we really want from our people and what they want from their jobs as well? I told you Jennifer prompted me to do and to really concentrate and look into what they want, what your new person is looking for. And we're not getting that done in this industry. Powerful questions are open-ended. There's the explanation. Non-judgmental, provocative, and respectful. All right, let's go on here. Here's the questions. 12 powerful questions to draw your affiliates in. Align on the topic of the coaching conversation. 1, what is most important for you to talk about? This is the question that you should be asking when you get that person and tell them, look, get to the handbook, get over to your tasks. In a couple of days, we're going to go over some questions. Because I want you to think, I don't have to have all this information, but we need to connect with this. I need to help you see the path in which you're going. I need you to see that. So let's go over this together. You can tell them, I'm not your boss. I'm really not. I'm going to give you a guideline and help you and show you what you should be thinking about, right? So the first thing is, I would ask that new person, what's the most important for you thing to you to talk about? What's number one on your affiliate's mind? This should become important to you, right? This is almost like asking them, why'd you come here? What are you up to here? Why did you do this? Remember, affiliates bring their whole selves to work. What they may need to talk about may have nothing to do with work. Hey, we've all experienced that, right? Got on the phone and listened to somebody's personal life. Now, you can't keep that up all day long. And, we have people who just never shut up about their personal life and take up other people's time. But it may directly impact their performance. In other words, listen to them. Even when you raise a topic, be sure to uncover what's most important for the affiliate to discuss within that subject. So take a look at that. If you're taking notes, write these questions down. What's number one here? Let's talk about you. Bob Safford used to say in a meeting, you know what? Brag about yourself. Tell me your accomplishments. Tell me what it is you're trying to achieve here. Tell me what you've achieved in the past. Don't be shy. Number 2, what are your desired results? Ask affiliates about the results they want to achieve. There it is. What are you looking for here? This empowers them to establish goals that they can own. Once you, as the manager, understand your affiliates' desired results, you can help them shape goals that will support their success. Don't just tell them to go write all their goals down. Let's talk about it with them. Maybe they'll want to share some things with you. What do you want to achieve? That's what that's asking. Number 3, what are your actual results today, and how did they come to be? So if you're talking to somebody on the 3rd day, desired results here, I mean, we're talking also results about getting some of these tasks done. Your affiliates need to understand where they are starting. Does that sound familiar? This is what we've been teaching. You don't see this in these companies. These are coming from conventional professional corporate trainings. Why is it any different than here? It's not. They need to understand where they're starting. That's why we have the affiliate handbook. That's why we have the checklist, right? That's why you need to belong to Tools Rock. Then they can identify the gaps to be bridged between actual and desired results. This question can be very revealing as employees or affiliates talk about things that they believe have held them back. Pay particular attention to this part of the conversation, as it can be often confirm or identify the need to readdress what is really most important to talk about, as in question number 1. So we'll just comment a little bit, Mark, on that with you, and talk about these 3 for a minute, and then we'll move on to the next 3, and then we'll hold the rest for tomorrow.
Okay. You know, number 1 is very, very important, because, as I said the other day, when an affiliate comes into your business, their mindset is, you know, if you care about them, and are you going to be there for them to help them, and then they'll really be willing to tell you what they want if you're willing to listen. They want to know, you know, especially in today's climate, you know, when you got 97% of them fail them, Joe, they're saying, well, you know, you want me to come in and you want me to put my money up or whatever, but what are you going to do for me? Because they're asking these questions. Is it about getting my money? They're asking these questions. So if you want to do it properly, then these points that are here, we need to master. I'm talking about all of us, me included. We need to master these, because this is what's going to help you hold on to your affiliate.
Absolutely. They're going to know that you care. We heard that saying so many times. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You know, people love to share. You know that, Mark. We've shared our conversations in our life. I know about Mark's kids now and his grandkids. I know what goes on in his house now. I know about Shelley Bauer. I know what goes on in her life. I know about many of the people that I've worked with, because we've shared and we've got involved in each other's life. I know that Mark cares about me when he calls and says, how's your headaches today? Or over the weekend to say, what's going on? You develop these relationships not by telling people what to do, but getting involved. Tell me and I'll hear, show me and I'll see, but get me involved and I'll understand. That's what should be going on here. Let's take a look at number 4. Seek to understand current realities, real or perceived. I mean, that's important. Take a look at that. They put that in there for a reason. I didn't make this stuff up. Number 4, what's really happening and what are the judgments you added to your story? People might not understand what that question is if you talk to them like that. Coaching affiliates requires you to help them separate facts from judgments or views. Let's just keep reading and see what this means. Listen carefully and distinguish between facts that can be substantiated and judgments that are subjective. Your affiliates might even regard their judgments as beliefs. Your job is to help them understand the difference. Okay, let's take an example of this. Do you know, if you have been through the class or you have been on the Breakfast Club enough, you have heard what it's like to be a director. You have heard the dialogue, the thinking behind all this. And the first question that is asked when introduced to a prospect, when someone says, Joe, this is Bob. Bob's been over the website. He's done this, that. He saw this. He went to a webinar, whatever. And when I'm introduced to that person, my first question, what is it that Mark said to you today to get us together? In other words, what do you know about our company so far? because what they have seen maybe over one day, one webinar, is not really what they're going to see in a few days, maybe a month from now. Maybe it'll look different to them. And you've got to help them separate the facts from fiction here. Not by talking, but by asking. And finding out what they know. Finding out how they perceive the comp plan. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't get them to read that handbook, I think you're making a major mistake. I really do, because a lot of it in there will help clear this up for them. Many of these things. What attitude or outlook do you have based on your judgments? They may have, look, we've done this many times, Mark. We have brought people in who really did not get what Karatbars was. They understand it was a free gold savings account, and they signed up, and that was it. I don't know if you get the same experience, Mark, but when I ask a prospect, what is it that John said that caused us to get together today? In other words, what do you know about our company so far? Most of the time I get, well, I don't know a whole lot. I saw this webinar, or I was on this website. I need to know how much they really saw. What they are judging here. What perception do they have? Because I'll bet you that most of them in their minds are saying, you know, this is about buying gold. Would you agree, Mark?
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
It's our job to clear that up. Now, maybe if you talk to somebody in another organization, maybe they're there saying, yeah, but it is about buying gold. Okay, if that's what you believe, that's great. That's what your people will believe. If that's what you're teaching, they're going to believe it's about buying gold either once a week, once a month, or whatever. When in reality, it's about teaching people how to get their financial house in order, utilizing Karatbars as a vehicle. That's what it's about. Because people don't care how much you know until you know how much you care. If they know that you're there to help them with a lot of this stuff, yes, we're going to purchase gold. Of course, we're going to exchange cash for gold. That's the start of helping not only you, but creating the legacy in your family. Imagine if you were a parent in your 40s with a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, and you were teaching them, they were learning how to what word am I looking for here? Properly establish a gold savings account and a gold IRA savings account. Imagine at 18 to 20 years old that you were able to pass that to your family. You wouldn't have the worry about what was going to happen to your kids later in life. You just wouldn't. What attitude or outlook do you have based on your judgments? And affiliate judgments influence their attitudes when working towards desired results. If that attitude is, they only want me to do this because they make money when I buy gold, I know that happens to people because I get phone calls. I'm still getting them about my upline doesn't care. They don't teach what you teach here. What do I do about a three-way? They don't know how to do a three-way. They get on and talk for 40 minutes. I get that. But, you know, their work is all, if they're going to believe other things other than we're helping people, their work is going to be influenced by that. You may witness an aha moment when an affiliate realizes for the first time that achieving the desired results may require a shift or adjustment on their part. You know what? I teach you in the class. George Foreman they asked him that question. Aren't you afraid of change? Because he went from a mean young heavyweight champion to a docile, complete gentleman type of person wanting to go into the ministry, becomes Reverend George Foreman, has, I don't know how many kids named George, 10 boys named George or something, all named George. Changing tradition, but changing his life around. Then he decided he wanted to box again and make more money, bring it to the church and so on. And somebody said, aren't you afraid of change? He said, I'm not afraid of change. I'm afraid of staying the same. When an affiliate realizes for the first time that achieving the desired results may require a shift or adjustment on their part. That's what George did. He knew that it was going to take a shift and an adjustment to get where he wanted to go. What speech or words are you using, and how is that impacting you to achieve the result you want? Look, this goes back to the class. Are you learning to speak properly? Are you learning? I was so impressed with Mary Arbuckle in the last couple of days. She took this class, and when I asked her, what did you learn from this class? I asked her that the first night after the first session. I said, Mary, I'm going to ask you. I asked this to everybody. What is it that's changed for you? What did you get out of this? Here's what she said. I learned who I am in this conversation. I learned how important it is to not have gaps in my dialogue when I'm moving a person forward. I learned now to be assumptive. Now, I know we've gotten that answer from many people, but it applies here. What words are you using? How is that impacting your result when you're having a conversation with someone? How is it? Because if you're haphazardly trying to close someone without an objective, you are in trouble. And when you don't close them, you're going to feel horrible and never want to do this. And then you're going to be looking for programs out there that close the deal for you, instead of learning how to close the deal by caring about the person on the other line. Listen carefully to the speech an affiliate uses to describe current results, attitudes, and judgments. Listen for thinking words, feeling words, and tone of voice. All these can help or hinder their ability to achieve their goals. When an affiliate considers their speech and tone, they can see the impact they have on their actions, results, and even the people around them. So if you're picking up the phone and you're calling someone after they've visited your website, and you call them and said, hi, John, this is Joe Shoup giving you a quick call here from Arizona. How are you? The reason I called is you were on the website, one of my websites, or you were on our current website, filled out some information. I do want to speak to you about managing a business from home. I do have a quick question. Am I catching you at a good time, or do we need to reschedule for a time that's more important or more acceptable to both of us? And when I get to that point, I have to understand what this person has seen. But if I go on there with this person jumps in and says, well, I got a couple of questions for you, and I let him start asking and firing questions at me, I'm going to get in trouble. If you don't learn how to get control by dialogue, tones of voice, little phrases, sure, I understand what you're saying, Frank, but here's what we need to do first. We need to go into this, find out a few things. We'll get to your questions, but I need to know a couple of things on a scale of 1 to 10. If he comes back with a question, well, I need to know how to get paid. How do I do that? You need to have the answer with no gaps and being assumptive. And if you've not been through the class, you don't know what that means. When an affiliate considers their speech and tone, they can see the impact they have on their actions, results, and even the people around them. For those of you who went through the class and before you were talking to a prospect, with a certain language, most of you, probably all of you, saw the difference the words make now, the tone you have, being assumptive, being a leader, being courageous, being able to move those people forward with courage. Because people don't follow people. Just because you call doesn't mean they're following you. But if you have enough courage to direct that conversation, to say, sure, that's not a problem, Frank. We'll get to that compensation plan. What I need to know now, Frank, is what do you currently do? Assuming now that I got to that part, assuming they're going to accept what I just said and let them know that I'm moving this conversation forward, we'll get to their part. I don't answer, even if they in the beginning say, well, Joe, how do I get paid with all this? Without getting my objective handled here, I don't answer that. Even though the answer is a very short one, we get paid in direct proportion to the effort we put forth. I don't even say that in the beginning. I need to follow my pattern and say, sure, that's not a problem. We will get to that, Frank. I want to cover that with you. In fact, we get a lot of that in our training here. But I need to go cover a few things. Let's not put the cart before the horse. See, all those phrases matter. If you use the right terminology, you'll be able to let them know that you're in charge. It takes courage to do that because people follow courage. They don't follow people. So we'll stop there, Mark. We have the rest of them to put up. We're going to go through. Actually, it says 12. There's actually 13. There's a bonus at the end, but we'll cover that tomorrow. Let's pick this up tomorrow, and we have it recorded for today. People will be able to go back and look at these things, write them down, and so on, and work with them. But look, you got to work with your new affiliate. Don't let them out there and keep them out in the cold. Direct them, affiliate handbook, checklist, and then schedule a time to meet with them and go over a couple of these questions at a time. Give them something to think about for the next meeting. You should be constantly with a new person having meetings with them. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 20 minutes here. Not all day, not an hour. Let's not find out what their grandchildren look like, how many they have. That isn't important right now. I mean, yes, we can talk about that briefly, but we finally, even with an affiliate, we need to say, okay, sure, let's get a couple of these things handled. Let's go down this road now. Here's what we need to do next. You've got to be courageous enough to guide them through these steps. This should help so many people be able to know how to talk to their new person instead of talking about yesterday's news and be afraid to introduce Carrot Bars or Tools Rock to them or tell them they've got to spend $20 to get this tool for now. Take it for 30 days. Let's get you registered. Be courageous. So we'll pick this up tomorrow and go back to you, Mark, and we'll be...
Okay, great information. Hopefully you've taken some notes, and as we know, about 10 minutes after the broadcast, you'll be able to get it again. So what you didn't get down, you can pull it back up and write it down because you definitely need this information. And I can tell you, it works. I'll share this with you right quick, and then we'll close out. In my meeting yesterday with this new affiliate of mine, he had 10 people there, and they were like people from different walks of life, different situations. You know, one person was I think he was an optometrist, or he worked in an optometrist's office, and he said, wow, he said, you know what, I have a 401k and I want to do something with it. And I'm saying, oh my goodness. And I say, well, I'll tell you what, before we even consider that, because we don't want to put the cart before the horse, we're having a meeting on Monday, our company, AdTech Worldwide, and we'd like for you to be at that meeting, and you will see the answer to your situation. Can you be there Monday at 7 o'clock? He says, I will definitely be there Monday at 7 o'clock. And at least 7 out of the 9 people, 10 people were there committed to being at our meeting on Monday at 7 o'clock for various reasons. But again, like Joe was saying, like we just taught us, it's what you say and how you handle. And the new affiliate, he said, He said, this is my partner. He was talking about me. This is my partner. And he and I together are going to teach you everything you need to know, but we need you to be at that meeting Monday. Who can make a commitment to be at that meeting Monday? Everybody, and one person wasn't sure, but pretty much everybody said, we'll be there on Monday. So again, Joe, like you said, it's a way you handle them, and it's a way that you talk to them. So, with that being said, peace and blessing to everyone. Let's go out and make it a great day. And let's use the tools. Let's use the communication. Let's use all the things that we've learned, and let's make them work for us. And let's commit to that for the next year. And then come back and see what your business looks like. So, with that being said, this is Mark Stevens, our host, Joe Shoup, saying peace and blessings. Go out and make it a great day. Bring somebody back here tomorrow to the Breakfast Club so they can get this vital information. And I assure you that it will make a difference in their business. Make it a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the Breakfast Club.